TV is the Twitter handle, and the WhatsApp number is on your screen there, 0706636525. Also tell us where you're watching K24 TV from. In other news at this hour, communities living around the Lake Victoria region have for years relied on fishing as their main source of food and economic activity. But the use of poor fishing techniques has led to a decline in fish catch, paralyzing the region's economy. Shukri Watu visited Usenge Beach in Siaya County and takes us through the challenges fishermen on Lake Victoria undergo to make ends meet.
The life of a fisherman is often described as one that is lonely. For thousands, however, in the Lake Victoria Basin counties, this is the only life they know. Have you ever wondered, however, what it takes for these fishermen to make ends meet? Communities living in the world's second largest freshwater lake, the Lake Victoria, are going through tough times. But just like the little limping egret bird, residents living around the lake have managed to surmount their challenges. To many residents of Usenge Beach in Siaya County, fishing is not just a source of livelihood, but a way of life that has been passed down from generation to generation. The current generation, however, doesn't seem to be enjoying the good old days. After completing high school, Alfredo Dhiambo's path in life was all set, but all has not been rosy.
Kazi ya uvuvi ni ngumu tena sana. Juu naona siku hizi maboti ziko mingi, sasa inalingana bahati yako sasa.
During the day, their fishing boats are normally converted into commuter vessels, as any attempt to fish in the morning and afternoon is literally a futile expedition.
Hapa tuko Kenya, lakini mostly tunakimbiaga huko side za Uganda huko juu. Na huko Kenya side za Kenya hakuna samaki.
Zamani at least ni kitu nilikuwa ukiweka uko sure nayo. Nowadays ni 50-50.
Arguably the world's largest inland freshwater fishery, fishing on Lake Victoria usually comes with its own fair share of conflicts as neighboring countries scramble for the scarce resource.
Hao masoja wa Uganda walikuja wakatupata kama tunavua. Wakauliza hii boti ni ya nani? Kwa sababu wako na almost record za boti zao na inatoka beach gani. Wewe kusema ati hii boti ni ya Usenge Beach, hiyo unavurutwa. Wewe utatupwa ndani, boti itavurutwa juu. Saa mdozi mwenye boti kama anataka boti yake, kuna penalty yenye atapigwa yenye kama ni kidogo ni kitu 40,000. Alafu nyinyi wavuvi kila mtu atapigwa faini ya kwake.
Wao wajeshi wa Uganda wakisha tufikia, wanatulazimisha tukule hizo samaki zenye tumevua hapo kwao. Tukule samaki mbichi. Na hakuna kitu unaweza fanya juu ukikosa kukula unauawa.
Kama kuna maneno tunajaribu kukaa chini na the authorities from Uganda so that wana sensitize wavuvi wetu masheria yenye wakifika kule wafuate sheria za huko.
80% of Kenya's annual fish catch comes from Lake Victoria, with data from the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute indicating that 4% of the catch is tilapia, 33% Nile perch, with 53% being dagaa, popularly known as omena. We ventured into the waters after sunset, heading northeast, and the more distance we covered, the darker it became, and the more intense the winds and tides blew. From a distance, we noticed patches of evenly spread bright spots, so we decided to follow it. Half an hour later, we came across these fishermen, silently and patiently waiting for their next catch.
Kwanza tukitoka kwa beach, tunatoka saa 12 jioni hivi, saa 11. Alafu tunaenda kilomita 7-8 hivi. Tunaweka hii nyavu vizuri na tuko na kapera pia, alafu tunalala.
Not even the heavy tides can disturb their sleep. And when the time comes, they quickly pick their fishing gear and start retracing the nightlights strategically placed across the lake. Amidst the shuffling and pulling, these fishermen hope that they will have a great catch. When they finally reel in the net, the result is difficult to accept. 2 hours of waiting and they have barely harvested a kilogram of omena.
Umeenda kilomita mengi, umetumia full mengi. Alafu kwa bahati mbaya umekosa omena. Hiyo umeenda loss.
The Fisheries Research Institute has attributed the dwindling fish stock to eutrophication, proliferation of invasive species, overfishing and the use of illegal and undersized fishing gear.
We've done several portraits on removing these illegal fishing gears, but it seems there are still some like monofilament. Hata ikikatika chini ya maji, pengine imeshika mawe, pengine imemwagika, haiwezi osa for 30 years. So inaendelea kusika samaki na inakufa. Inafanya kitu inaitwa ghost fishing. Inashika tu na zinakufa hapo, hakuna mtu yenye anachukua.
Tunaweza kuwa tuna samaki. Tunaweza kuwa nayo, but tumeshindwa kulinda hiyo samaki yetu.
As God given, wanasema this is a God given resource and therefore cannot be overfished.
Back to the waters, we encounter yet another fishing crew. They too are optimistic of a big catch. But first things first. It's a no mean feat that requires up to 5 men to pull in the net.
Hatuwezi kosa omena kabisa, lazima tupate kidogo. Na hiyo kidogo tumepata, tunafanya tunaichukua kaa chai sisi. Tajiri anatuachia.
Early morning, the hundreds of fishermen who left for the lake make their way back to the land. Some had a bad night out, while others returned to hundreds of fishmongers waiting to purchase fresh fish from them. Everyone is eyeing their omena. It's good business.
Saa zingine tunaona wavuvi wanafurahi kulingana na mapato yenye wanapata.
Tunataka kupata mzuri, tunakuja kitu kama saa 12, watu wa gari pia wanawai, lakini kuingia kwa maji ni saa 1.
Uchumi mezorota, sasa tunalipa usuru juu, ndio imeharibu biashara.
A refrigerated fish landing site has been set up by the Siaya County government to assist the fishermen to preserve their catch. But even as the delicacy continues to gain popularity, more needs to be done to ensure fishermen get value for their hard work. It is amongst the honest professions, no doubt, and though fishermen at times might come across uncertain waves, once the path ahead is illuminated, all becomes clear at the end. Shukriwachu, K24, Usenge, Lake Victoria, Siaya County.
And now you know the troubles fishermen face while they're trying to catch ngege or wretch or fish, if you like.
You like omena, right?
Very much. I think I will go and have my omena meal, my dinner will be omena. Lovely, you know.
With ugali?
With ugali.
Yeah.
Okay. Shukriwachu, thank you very much for that detailed report. Time for us to take another break, but a reminder on how you're saying.
Are you satisfied with the way the census is being conducted? That's the question tonight. Eric, I'm sure you have some feedback for us.
Indeed, we did ask you to tweet at K24 TV, and the Facebook page is K24 TV. Time now to take a few of your feedback right here on our touch screen on K24 Evening Edition. We'll start with Twitter, and this is what you're saying. Chasing AK on Twitter, you say, no, the process is slow. After waiting for census guys from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., that's midnight, they did not show up. So today, it's a game for me. Catch me if you can. Another post from Samuel Mbega, you say, mimi sijahesabiwa na sitafuti mtu yoyote. Okay. Another post and tweet from Wycliffe Bartonjo Kipkales, you say, I am very satisfied with the way they are conducting this exercise. You say one word, great. Another post and tweet from Hila_Cheru, you say, questions being asked are clear and all of them pick on important indicators which will enable our government to plan. Another one from Walter, also on Twitter, you say, They knocked on my door yesterday and asked that I stay around. I waited till late night, but never showed up. I'm still waiting to be counted. There's another post here from Alex, also on Twitter. You say, so far, though I haven't been reached by the enumerators, I can say I'm satisfied with how the exercise is being conducted. There's another post from Ole Mwaneki, say, I'm not satisfied at all. This process is taking forever. Another post from Masharia on Twitter. You say, you are satisfied. I did not see anything wrong with the process. So these are so many responses, and we thank you for that. Bobo Wino, also on Twitter, you say, I'm not, because I haven't been counted, and with insecurity, we are held in fear, watching from Kisumudala. Sawa Sawa, Asanti. Thank you very much for your feedback. Let me just read this from Eric Derrick. You say, I was counted, but I'm still wondering if it's census or stock taking of what Kenyans have. Thank you very much for your feedback tonight on K24 Evening Edition. Keep those comments coming. Our Twitter handle is at K24 TV. I haven't been counted, and so has Karen.
Those tweets are hilarious, though.
They are.
Thank you so much for those. Whatever. Anyways, let's move on. Kenya has today officially joined the League of Oil Exporting Countries after President Uhuru Kenyatta flagged off the first shipment of 200,000 barrels of crude oil. Now, the MV Celsius rigger vessel carrying the Kenyan oil sailed out of the port of Mombasa for Malaysia, marking another phase in the country's economy. And as Caroline Jenga reports, the president affirmed the government's commitment to ensure local communities hosting national assets and natural resources benefit from the accruing revenues.
It was a momentous occasion as Kenya flagged off its first crude oil shipment at the port of Mombasa. The 200,000 barrels of crude oil worth 1.2 billion shillings destined for Malaysia is intended to test the reception of Kenya's low sulfur oil on the international market. The government early this month struck a deal with British-based Chinese company ChemChina State to buy maiden Kenyan oil shipment. Kenyans will, however, not derive immediate benefit, with proceeds from the initial oil sale being used to foot overhead costs incurred during the exploration stage. The historical oil shipment has put Kenya in the league of other African oil exporting countries, including Nigeria, Angola, Gabon, Algeria, among others. President Kenyatta, who presided over the ceremony, said the government will ensure that local communities get a fair share of the oil revenues, which will be used to develop the country's economy.
Mimi naomba hii mbuzi mzima tuhakikishe imegawiwa kila moja wetu kwa njia ya haki.
Kenyatta said Kenya, in collaboration with its partners, will continue to explore its vast natural resources without compromising future generations, saying more resources will be channeled into the upgrade of infrastructure to ease the transportation of oil from the fields to the port.
Also committed as a government to upgrade the Leseru-Lokichar Road and the modification works at the Kenya Petroleum Refinery Limited to support this early oil pilot scheme.
Plans are, however, underway to construct an 820-kilometer pipeline from Lokichar in Turkana to Lamu Port to ease the transportation of oil. The shipment is part of the early oil pilot scheme ahead of the full-blown exploration of Lokichar South oil fields next year. Talo estimates Kenya has 560 million barrels in oil reserves and expects to produce up to 80,000 to 100,000 barrels per day from 2022.
Kenyans have raised the questions on the use of the refinery facility in Changamwe and also how the proceeds from this sale of oil will be used. Caroline Jenga for K24 Evening Edition.
Time for us to take another short break.
But business with Tony Timase is next. Tony, good to see you.
Good to
We're
see
still
you, Tony.
talking about oil, by the way.
Yes,
it's a good thing for Kenya.
It's a good thing, but already we're getting jitters about how we're going to share the proceeds of the oil.
Take it away then.
All the governors had some stuff to say. That's coming up in just a short while. We'll be right back. A very good evening to you. We stay with that story of Kenya becoming an oil exporter, and leaders across the country are asking the government to stick to shared revenues from future shipments. Although commercial production is years away, the discovery of oil has heightened expectations that citizens, especially those living adjacent to the deposits, will benefit. Speaking when he flagged off the maiden oil shipment, President Uhuru Kenyatta reaffirmed that proceeds reaped from Kenya's oil exports will go a long way to benefit the country equitably. Sarah Adam reports.
President Uhuru Kenyatta today flagged off the first oil vessel, which is the first batch of the Kenyan crude oil, expected to fetch the country 1.2 billion shillings for the 200,000 barrels. The president assured Kenyans that the oil resource earnings will be shared out equitably and for the benefit of the economy.
Mafuta sio ya watu ya Turkana, ni ya Wakenya. Lakini tunataka kuhakikisha hata pahali ambapo imetoka watu huko wamefaidika. Bandari hii sio ya watu ya pwani, ni ya Wakenya. Lakini tunataka kuhakikisha ya kwamba watu wa pwani pia na wa Mombasa in particular wamefaidika.
President Uhuru was reacting to clamors by various leaders among the governors who demanded that resources best in their respective county should benefit communities living in those counties.
Sasa wasee wa Turkana pamoja na vijana wameniambia kwa hii mafuta ya EOPS hiyo kamuguu tungetaka kupata.
Sisi tukipata ile percentage kidogo ya savo, kwa sababu over 62% yetu yote imeenda na wanyama, lakini wanyama wanaleta ushuru na wananchi wa Taita Taveta wanasema wapate kitu kidogo.
Kile kitu mimi nataka, chukueni mafuta huko, sisi tutengeneze hapa a trading hub and petrochemical industry for value addition, because the port of Mombasa is here. Yes, port is very dear to us, but I can tell you, if Dongo Kundu happens today, it will employ maybe 10 times what the port is employing today.
President Kenyatta in March signed into law a long-awaited petroleum bill that regulates oil exploration and production